guys, and welcome to the Reading vs Sunderland match preview. So Sunderland do take on Reading tomorrow night away from home. Before we do get into it though, I do want to quickly sort of apologise, I guess, a little bit. I have briefly alluded to this on the community tab on the jamsarny YouTube page. But of course, I haven't really uploaded, or haven't uploaded anything over the last few days. Given the passing of the Queen, and it was a really grey area as to whether football was going ahead, so I don't want to start making previews to games that weren't going to happen. And just our general respect as well, a lot of people are either not uploading, or a lot of things were coming to a standstill anyway, so it was a matter of, trying to judge whether games are going to be played and also trying to be respectful at the same time. So, so I hope that's a good enough explanation as to why there hasn't been any uploads over the last few days. But we are back now. The EFL have confirmed that Sunderland, those games are going to start taking place again as of tomorrow, which of course leads us to Wednesday as well, when we do take on Reading. I'm hoping, I don't want to promise you anything, but I'm hoping I can do a live stream on the channel for that game, a live watch along, which we always have a load of fun doing. So hopefully I do manage to do that, but I don't want to promise anything too soon. But we shall see. But also, before getting into it as well, I know I'm saying a lot before we get onto the preview, but I just wanted to give a special sort of mention and note to former Sunderland striker Marcus Stewart, who's just been diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which, it's a horrible, horrible disease, and he was an excellent, excellent player for us. I think I've got a photo with him somewhere when I was a kid. I've got a photo with him in this room somewhere, but I don't know where it is at the minute. But cracking player, always seemed a gentleman, and he was an excellent goal scorer for us. So I just wanted to wish him all the best. No one deserves that. I wish him all the best. But getting into the preview, so Reading are currently third in the Championship after a really good start to the season. They've played 8, won 5 and lost 3. And if you do take a look at their results as well, when they're winning games, not necessarily winning sort of comprehensively, apart from a win against Blackburn, which was a great 3-0 win against Blackburn, it's a lot of sort of 1-0s, 2-1s, really close games. But when they do lose, they seem to lose emphatically. I think there's a couple of 4-0 defeats in there, one off Rotherham, and there's another one in there as well. I think it was Sheffield United they got beat 4-0 against as well. So I think it's one of them for us. I feel like if we do manage to get ourselves an early goal or take an early lead, I feel like Reading are the type of side that will kind of collapse if that is the case. But once they do get themselves in the lead or get themselves a goal themselves, they're very good at holding on, and sort of their game management when they do manage to go ahead is very, very good. So that is something we're going to have to be very, very wary of. We do need to try and come up with a different system, or at least a different outlook into this game from the previous, because we looked so toothless in the previous game, of course, with the injury to Ross Stewart. We had the 2 number 10s in Patrick Roberts and Pritchard behind Stewart, and those two just looked confused, getting in each other's way. I don't think that either of them really knew that role too well. Of course, Pritchard is a number 10, but generally does that solo. So they were just getting in each other's way. They almost rendered useless at times, Pritchard and Roberts, particularly Roberts, who didn't do anything in the previous game. So I think if we're going to use a number 10, there can only be one there, really, because I don't want that to happen again. But yes, and Sims needs to... it's easy to give Sims blame, isn't it? But he needs better service to him. But also, I think he needs to put himself about a little bit more and press a bit more, because in that first half against Borough, I think he was very lazy at times. He was holding up the ball well when it comes to him, and it was actually served on the plate. But in terms of off-the-ball movement, there was very little. So when you're up there on your own, it's difficult, I know, but Ross Stewart is so good at leading that press, and then that influences the players behind. The number 10 are the wingers. They will start to press as well, and they'll follow you into battle. Whereas if Sims is just kind of strolling across that back line, it has a domino effect for the lads behind, if that makes sense. So, it sounds like I'm giving him a bit too much criticism, or maybe a bit too harsh there, but that's just the way it looked against Borough, the way he was kind of wandering around, and then Pritchard in behind, he isn't pressing either because Sims is just wandering, so what's the point type thing. But yes, it's going to be a really difficult game. They've got some good players. Tom Ince, creative player, coming in off the wings. They've got Lucas Jacques, who's a great start to the season. I think he got a couple of goals in his last game as well. They have threats. It is not going to be easy by any stretch. But like I say, if we get an early goal, potentially the first goal, I'll be very, very confident of a win. Because as I say, I think Reading the type of side that could potentially collapse if we've got 1 or 2 goals. But it's all about us not being so toothless and creating. Against Middlesbrough, we had plenty of possession and did so little with it. We had plenty of balls coming in the box from like to Clark or Gucci on the right hand side, but the crosses were just appalling. So, some better service, you might find ourselves on a good day or a good evening, should I say, on Wednesday night. But we're going to go into my preferred starting 11. I do have a couple of preferred starting 11s here, just to kind of combat each other a little bit, and I'll show you my sort of concerns with it as well. But here are my preferred starting 11s. So the first one, as you can see, we do have Patterson in goal, Luke O'Nien on the left of a back three, with Wright on the right of the back three and Dhannoo Bott in the middle. Of course, Sirkin is injured here. He won't be playing this game. So that would be the back three I would go for. I just find that Bailey Wright is a lot better on the right of a back three rather than a left. I think Luke O'Nien is just Mr. Versatility, isn't he? So he can easily slot in there. Then you've got Clark on the left-hand side, Gooch on the right, Evans and Neal in the middle. Then you've got Pritchard as the 10. Then I was going to go with Diallo. Kind of up alongside Sims. He could come deep potentially, but I didn't want to stick Diallo directly in that sort of number 10 role, because again, I don't want it to be the same situation that we had against Borough when Pritchard was getting in the way, or Roberts was getting in the way of Pritchard. They didn't really know the role when they get two number 10s on the pitch. It can be very difficult, and Pritchard is so much better when he's solo in that role. Diallo for me, he is a winger, so that's why I do have another system. So if you have a look at the other one, here it is. We have 4 at the back, which I don't think we will go to, but we could do. We have Bott and Wright in the middle, with Gooch on the right as the right back. O'Nien as a left back. I mean, technically, really, I guess we could have maybe Gooch at left back and then maybe have Trey Hume at right back, but I just don't think O'Nien will get dropped because he has been absolutely fantastic. Left back, I wouldn't be too convinced with him, but again, Mr. Versatility, he can play pretty much anywhere. But against a team like Reading, you know, someone like Tom Ince up against O'Nien, we could be in trouble. But he has been excellent, as I say, and we don't have any other left backs. So if we were to change system, this is just what I would go for. Still Evans and Neal in the middle, Clark on the left, Diallo as the right winger there with Pritchard behind Sims. So then we have the sort of the 3 behind Sims with plenty of support. So those are my 2 potential or preferred starting 11s. I know it's a bit messy. It's just hard to try and address some of these issues when we don't have a left back and we don't have a backup striker. Very, very frustrating. It must be just as difficult for Tony Mowbray as well. But you guys let me know in the comments down below what you think we should go with on Wednesday night. But now for my score predictions. So, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be very, very difficult. You know, I predicted a win against Borough, but that was thinking that Stewart was going to play, and that didn't happen, did it? But, you know, and I know with Stewart on the pitch, I think we could have easily won that game. But, you know, there's some buts, maybes, all that kind of stuff. But we lost that game. But Reading, it's a difficult one. We're away from home as well. It's going to be such a difficult game. But I think what we will see is a very resilient performance. And I think we are going to get a draw. And I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, which I will probably take, particularly if Sims gets our goal, which is that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going for an equalising goal. So I think Reading will score first. I think Sims could get the equaliser, and I think that's giving that a bit of a boost, bit of confidence to say, you know, I can do a job without Stewart on the pitch and still grab goals, which I would take a 1-1 draw against Reading, who are flying so far this season. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a Reading 1, Sunderland 1 scoreline. So that is the preview, guys. So let me know in the comments down below, you know, your prediction for the lineup, or what you would like to see as a lineup, and your score prediction as well. But if you have enjoyed, please smash that like button for me. It'd be so much appreciated, and keep subscribing if you are not already. If you regularly watch the channel, regularly watch the videos, but you just haven't clicked subscribe yet, so much appreciated if you do, and keep your notifications on, because of course live streams and stuff like that, you don't want to miss them, as well as videos as well. But that's it, guys. You guys take care and stay jammy.